Oh, it's not very stable, is it? A little bit jiggly. There. Well, I hope it's bright enough. Should turn these around. Because bulb blew on my lamp. So I've got my emergency light on, and it's shining on the ceiling, in front of me. Because if it was pointing over here, it would be blinding me. Man, and my nose was to itch. Well, I know that I am late getting in, but I had to put the goats away first because we've got weather moving in, and it did not look like it was going to be letting up anytime soon. So I figured, you know what? I'll get the goats in. And of course, I got all the mamas in because they all love cookies. You would think the boys would love cookies, but no, the boys are more interested in being boys. So I got all the girls in, and I got Bandit in, and I got Ruthie and Joy and Sugar in, and even Chucky went in. But the three boys, the twins and Mama's little boy, and Billy decided, oh no, it's going to be more fun to just stay out here without the girls and just play boy games. Headbutt each other and do what boys do, Anyway, so it took me a while to get them in. I had to catch one of the boys, and boy, I tell you, he's getting big. He is getting big. They all are. They're about to the point where I'm going to have to take them to market. They're getting to be that big, and I don't have my my scale set up yet. I really want to get an idea of how much they weigh before I take them to market. Boy, I had something really weird happen when I came online. I got a message saying that it could not use my my camera because it was being used by another application. Well, there shouldn't have been any other application using my camera. There's nothing. So I ended up shutting everything down, and it's looking to me like there's an issue going on with the camera. Like it's you see how it's all blurry when I move, and I don't remember it doing this before. And it just seems just not as good as in the past. But this computer's, it was a used computer when my son got it for me, so we'll see. He did one repair on it, and hopefully he doesn't have to do another one. But it is what it is. So anyway, yeah, I don't know. Oh, my nose is itching. Does that mean somebody's talking about you? I think. Anyway, so I had to, because they wouldn't cooperate, it took me longer to get the goats in, and I got them in just in time because the weather's starting now. I can hear the rain on the roof. Oh boy. Well, there has been some really interesting developments. First of all, let me give you an update on Joy and Moomoo. Okay. You saw my video of, Joy disappearing, and I thought for sure she was taken away because I didn't see her mama going anywhere searching for her or anything. And well, that's because little Miss Moomoo knew exactly where her baby was. But she wasn't going to tell me. Apparently, it took us a couple days to figure this out. Apparently, Moomoo was hiding her baby. Now, on this property, it was logged long before we bought it. Okay. And the loggers, they're not exactly the neatest people in the world. And they left piles of debris. Okay. Where, they cut off the top of the tree. The top of the tree wasn't any good. They just left it there. And so we got piles around of old logs. Okay. Different places of the property. And there's one that's not too far from the goat pen up the hill. And there's one that's across the creek and up the hill. Okay. Now we got another one that's behind the cabin, but that's mainly smaller stuff. And I kind of expected her to be up there. Actually, there's two small piles up behind the cabin, and I expected them to be kind of up there, but no, she wasn't up there. We looked, and part of me I was looking at that pile over here, not far from the goat pen, and it's like, I wonder if she's up in there. I said, and I thought to myself, well, no, my son checked that. So, well, it's getting loud. Yeah, we got high winds and rain, heavy rain at times. So, I need to say we're not doing any outside work today. Anyway, so I didn't look. I figured my son would look, so I didn't go look. Figure that's where she was that night. And I guess her mother felt that she was safe there. Well, a couple days, the next day she went missing, but she came back. Then the following day she went missing. I figured something's not right. Okay. And so we just kind of watched Moomoo. And I didn't get a whole lot of work done that day because I had to keep an eye on Moomoo. Wherever she went, I had to keep an eye on her. And finally, close to near the end of the day, when just about the time that we'd be starting to get them everything all put away and fed and everything, I watched her go across the creek and up the hill, and she started calling that mama wants her baby kind of call. And and I went across the creek and I lagged behind her because I didn't want to spook her. And sure enough, she kept going on up the hill towards a pile of brush. And the next thing I know, little Miss Joy in her bright white coat comes out from that debris and says, "Hi, Mom, I'm here." So I grabbed little Miss Joy as she was enjoying her dinner with her mom, and I carried her back across the creek and stuck her in the pen, and I kept her penned up for a couple of days. Guess what? They haven't hid since. Moomoo hasn't tried to hide her, and little Miss Joy sticks close to her mom, or she stays either in the goat barn or in the hay shelter. Oh, okay, I got it. That's my text. My text tweets. I don't tweet, but my text does. So anyway, yeah, happy Mother's Day to everybody. I got so busy with the goats, I forgot it was Mother's Day. So anyway, I've been doing a lot of yawning lately. So anyway, so she's been well behaved since. No more incidents of Joy gone missing. She's been staying where someone can keep an eye on her, so all's good there. She's been doing great. She's been staying pretty much with the goats, except for when she has to take her puppy nap in the afternoon. But she did go in with the goats with this weather moving in. When I called all the goats in, she went in too, so that's good. So now they're in. The only thing I did not do is I did not pull the tarp down over their doorway because it's rather warm. So they may get some rain going in, but they've got their bunk beds that are back on the inside of the barn. Um, so, and Sheba doesn't mind the rain too much. But so anyway, so they're in. The horses were out, but they don't mind the rain so much. And if it gets too heavy, like Deeza doesn't like it if it gets really heavy rain. They have access to get into the run-in, so they're good. Everybody's fine. The ducks are enjoying the weather, except for the one duck that I have that is broody. Yes, I have a Muscovy hen that is broody, and she is sitting on a clutch of eggs in the run-in, back in the corner. I set my mounting block over next to the nest to try and protect it, and she seems to appreciate it. And she's being very diligent. She comes off the nest long enough to eat, and then I guess she goes back on it at night. I'm assuming she does. I've stopped locking the ducks in at night. I figure, you know what? I want to make sure she does hatch the ducklings out, because I intend to sell them. And that brings me to another thing. I went to an auction yesterday. It was a local Amish auction. They were doing a fundraiser for their school, and so I went. And I was talking to someone, and she tells me that there are grants available for small-scale farmers for certain areas of Kentucky through the Kentucky State University, not the University of Kentucky, the Kentucky State University. And I guess there's a difference. So I don't understand it, but it is. So anyway, I went online and I checked it out, and there are some things that that we have that I would qualify. There's some things that, it's kind of like, I don't know if to overlook it or not, because one thing, they wanted you to make somewhere between $1,000 to no more than $250,000 off your farm over the last 2 years. Well, I've only really started making anything off my farm this last year, and I know it wasn't $1,000. This year, it may be because I've sold several birds, and I'll be selling 3 bucklings, and prices are good this year. At least they have been. I'm hoping I can get them to market before the prices go down. So if I can do that, between the bird sales and the goats, I could possibly make close to $1,000 this year. So I don't know. We'll see. They might overlook it if I'm close, maybe. But anyway, what I'd be looking at doing is building on the back of the cabin, because I need space to set up brooders, and I need space for incubators. Yeah, I had an incubator up here last year, and you can't really keep that close an eye on it, except for at night. And it'd be nice to have it right there next to the brooders, whereas I can't have a brooder in the house. No way. So, and I also need office space. I really do need the office space. So I figure maybe I can get grant money to do that. And we'll have to see. There are people that have used it for cold rooms and other things, and I'm not sure if it would work or not. So if I can get that would really help out a lot. Now, my sales are going to be primarily chicks, pullets, and roosters. Pullets and roosters, if people want roosters, and goats. and of course Muscovy ducks too. But I'd sell mostly the ducklings, not too much of mature birds, if I can get away with it. So I mean, eggs. A lot of people sell eggs, and I don't mind giving away my extra eggs. I am not. Oh, hi, Kentucky Hilltop Home. You're not just talking to yourself. Thank you. Yeah, just talking to hear myself talk. Anyway, yeah. So that's as a matter of fact, yesterday at the auction, I took 8 of my chicks to the auction for consignment, and they did very well. So the chicks may very well have paid for what I got at the auction. Well, almost. Didn't quite pay for it, but almost paid for it. Oh boy, what did I do? I went to the auction, and I knew they were having gates, and I knew where they came from, and I knew how much they were. And there was one particular size gate that I wanted that I didn't have yet, and I was going to try and get one of them. I thought he had more than 2, but I guess not. So I was going to get a gate. And then I also saw a bathtub that I thought would be great. And it was way back in the corner, and I don't know what happened, but I kept half an eye on it because I wanted to be there when they auctioned it off. The next thing I knew, I turned around and it was gone. Everything else was there that was there for sale, and that particular thing, it was gone. I have no idea if it sold or if someone took it away. I don't know, but I had really wanted that bathtub, and I lost out on that. Now, the gates, unfortunately, they went higher than what I was willing to pay. So, as I know, he didn't pay much more than what I paid. So, I'm pretty sure that the amount of money that I was willing to pay was about the price that he paid for them. So, but, I'm on a budget, so I can't I wish I could, give them a whole bunch of money, but I can't. I got to be very, very jealous about my money. We bought lunch there, we bought breakfast there, and I bought an apple pie from the bake sale. It's like that kind of stuff. I can do that, okay? Because that's okay. You asked me this price, I can pay it. Auctions, I don't do terribly well with. I tried a couple times. Like they had sausage and there for breakfast, and it was really good sausage. And they at the end of the auction, they auctioned off the leftover food, and they had some of the breakfast sausages left. And I was trying my hardest to get some, and I kept getting outbid. And so, and if you got more than 2 people bidding, you get multiple bidders. And it's like I can't deal with it. I just can't. It's just too much. So I just drop out. So needless to say, I didn't get any sausage. That was a bummer because I was really looking forward to having some of that. So I got to find out what the recipe is. So what shocked me? Well, I tell you that rain's coming down. So I was sitting there. They had auctioned off all these old tools. Somebody got some really good buys, and it was on a trailer, and they had auctioned all the stuff off. And so I got up on the trailer, and they were going to sell the trailer, and they were going to sell something else, and then they were going to get to the gates. Okay. Well, the trailer was a no sale because he wasn't getting what he wanted. Mostly don't do auctions because I don't want to compete with someone else. Well, auctions can be fun, and you can get some good deals, but sometimes the competition is fun, and sometimes, like what happened with me, with this one particular item, I was hoping for competition, And I got none. I'll tell you. So sitting on the trailer, waiting. Okay, they were going to auction this other thing off, and then they were going to go to the gates. Okay, so sit there waiting, and he started the bidding off, and of course they always start high, and then nobody bids, so they wait until it comes down, and then when it gets slower, they everybody starts jumping in, and that's typical of auctions. Okay, so he gets down to $100. Nobody bids $100. He gets down to $50, and it's like, will nobody give me $50 for this? And I said, sure, I'll give you $50. Expecting full well that somebody was going to come in and outbid me. All I had to do was just bid $60. And I went, oh, okay, we're good. Oh, my word. What did I do? What did I do? Oh, my word. Oh. I bought me a pig. I cannot believe I bought a pig. I always said, I'm not interested in getting a pig. I'm glad you find it so amusing. I didn't want a pig. I didn't want to mess with it. It's more than what I'm not set up here. Oh, my word. Oh. And I don't even think it's your typical, like, commercial type pig. I think it's a potbelly cross. I think they said. I don't know. I don't know pigs. And it's like, I hadn't even looked at the thing. They said it's over there in the trailer. You go take a look at it and see if you're interested. And come to find out, apparently there was this pig roaming around that they couldn't catch. They couldn't keep in. He kept getting out from somebody. And finally they got it in the trailer. And I guess he got frustrated and decided he was going to sell it. So it's like, oh, great. What do I do with this thing now? I don't know anything about pigs. I really don't. Just what I see on YouTube, So it's like, I knew it wasn't anything I wanted to get into. I tell you, my Amish friends are such a godsend. Oh, I don't know what I would do without them. So I talked to them when they weren't busy. I said, look, I got this problem. I got myself in a heap of trouble. And he looked at me and I said, I bought me a pig. And he looks at me with a grin on his face. Really? What? The thing is that there was, over with the small livestock where my chick sold, there were 2 little piglets for sale. Okay. And they were cute. Babies are always cute, regardless of what it is. And he thought that was what he thought it was. I got one of those. No. This is a bigger pig. And I said, no, it's the one over in the trailer. And I think that's when he thought, oh, is that the one where they couldn't catch it? It kept getting out. And I had no idea. All I know is I bought me a pig. So, I got together with him later and, putting our heads together and I say, yeah, okay, we can do this. And we better go take a look at it. So we go over there, we take a look at it. And he says, oh, he's a boar. Okay. What's that mean? Well, I knew he what it meant. I meant he was a boy pig. Okay. And he was intact. And it's like, okay, so that means what? Well, he needs to be made not a boar. Okay. Well, that's not a problem to him. He said, oh, I can do that. It's not a big deal. Okay, I'm glad it's not a big deal for you because it was a big deal for me. So he says, I happen to have one hog panel left. Okay. And because I had overbought, I didn't think right. I thought I needed 4 hog panels. I only needed 3. So I had this extra hog panel. I'll tell you, God works in mysterious ways. That's all I got to say. Because I had no intention of ever getting a pig. So, the guy said he would deliver the pig if it's within 10 miles. And where my Amish friend lives was pretty close to where the auction was. So hopefully he delivered it. I don't know. The auction was yesterday. When I left my friend's place last night, because I had to take the hog panel over, and I had to take him a bag of corn. I tell you, it's amazing. The guy that I get my chicken feed from, he delivers, okay? And he happened to be there at the auction. And he happened to have a bag of corn. Okay, not the ideal what I would, if I was going to be raising a pig, okay, I would not necessarily want to be feeding him a lot of corn, okay, especially these days. But he had the bag. The pig had to eat something. So, okay, I'll get this, okay, and then when later this week, because I showed him on my calendar, say, okay, look, I'll be ordering feed at this about that time, okay, when my check comes in, and he knows I do this every month, okay, and just add to that 2 bags of hog feed, and when you can, deliver to my Amish friend there, because he delivers there too, and okay, so they'll have feed for that. So I took him over the hog panel and the bag of corn, and because I had cash, I just paid for the bag of corn then, and I took over some old eggs. Okay, so he'd have something other than corn to eat, and they might even be feeding them some extra cow's milk. They've got a lot of milk, and so he'll have something to eat. And my friend's going to do the little operation. Okay, and he said, we'll just feed him for about 2-3 months. Okay, get him good and fat, and then we'll do the deed. And he says, if he becomes a problem, if he gets out and we can't catch him, he said, we'll catch him with a speeding bullet. I said, okay, sounds like a plan. And I told him they could have half the meat. I don't know how much meat's going to be on it. If he's potbelly or potbelly cross, he's going to have a lot of fat. That's what they are. They're a lard pig. So that's okay. And they're very excited about it. His wife came down when I was talking to him at his place, and she said, sausage! That's quite the big deal for them, sausage. And that's how they do most of their pork and whatnot, is they make like a sausage or something they call, when they do deer, they process it into what they call bologna, but it's not the kind of bologna that you get in the grocery store. It tastes more like a salami to me. So it's good, but different people have different recipes. Hi, Plain Speaker. How you doing? Welcome in. I'm just telling the story of how I shocked myself. I really, really shocked myself. But I will tell you, thinking about all that has transpired and all that's going down lately, with, people are talking shortages. I was talking to my feed guy yesterday at the auction, and Danny and Wanda from Deep South Homestead, they made this point. They were talking to their feed supplier. My feed guy was saying that he got a new price list for the feed. Well, he just got a new price list for the feed last month, and so within a month the prices have gone up again. And I'm hearing, that prices are going up on feed. Prices are, and feed is going to be hard to come by. It is a bad situation. So I'm like, okay, things are getting hairy, things are getting dicey. Fuel too, yes, I heard about that pipeline. Now that's still, we don't know yet what the ramifications are going to be of that. I don't know if it's going to be a major deal or it's just going to be a slight inconvenience. Okay, we may know more about tomorrow. We probably won't know anything today. So we'll see what happens there. So anyway, I got to thinking, I didn't plan on having a dairy goat. Okay. Yeah, the meat goats, that was an income source. Okay. So I didn't plan on having a dairy goat. But when my friend was moving away and they offered me a really good deal on Daisy, it's like, I'd be crazy to turn it down. She was bred already. And I could see, okay, I could sell the kid or kids. Well, she ended up only having one and it was dead. So I hadn't planned on having to milk a dairy goat twice a day. Okay. And the amount of milk that she was giving was just way more than what we could use. Way, way more. Okay. Dear Lord, what do I do? You can raise a calf on goat's milk. So, okay. I started looking for because my freezer was getting full. I had no room left in the freezer. And we had to have food, not just milk. So I said, okay, I'll look for a bottle calf. I found a bottle calf, and it just happens. This little guy, he just came from up the street, 5 miles up the street from where I bought him from an organic dairy. Okay. So he didn't have a lot of stress at travel time. Okay. So lower stress, less possibility of having scours. Not saying that there wasn't still risk, just a lower risk. And he was small because he wasn't that old. So he would fit in my crate. They say Jersey is good meat, even though he doesn't get as bulky as a beef cattle. But so I ended up getting a bottle baby, a bottle calf, and he nurses on Daisy. Okay, I don't even have to do a bottle anymore. Except I think maybe he might need a little bit more than what she's giving him lately. So that's okay. I've got a freezer full of milk, so I can take a bag of milk out and warm it up and give him a bottle, at some point during the day. Can you preserve milk? Well, I'm freezing it. I've been freezing it, but I only have so much room. Okay. And my freezer space was practically full. And I had bottles of ice water in the bottom. Well, they weren't ice water. It was ice. Jugs of ice in the bottom of my freezer because I knew I couldn't fill the freezer, and so I took most of them out, the ones I could get out. I still have like 3 in there I couldn't get out. But I took all those out so I would have room. And even with taking those out, I still was almost overflowing with milk because we had to have room to put our own food in. So I have used some of the milk that's been in my freezer. I've used it for us. And I have used it for the calf. So and I'll probably, I've got some milk in there that is definitely not for human consumption. Okay. Because my husband did the milking, and even though he's got good strength in his hands and he did well, he wasn't as good at making sure it was clean. So I just labeled it as not for human consumption, and I'll just feed it to the pig. So here I am with a dairy goat and a bottle calf and now a pig that I had absolutely no intention whatsoever of getting or dealing with. It's like I had my meat goats, my kikos, and my chickens, and my ducks, and my horses, and I had no interest in going any further with livestock. I guess God had other ideas. He says, no, I think maybe you do need a bottle calf. And yeah, you do. You're going to need this dairy goat because you're going to have this bottle calf. And also, you may not think you want a pig, but yeah, you want a pig. And it's like, okay, did I tell you how much I paid for the pig? $50. I said, I'll give you $50. And it's like, from what I heard, the guy really wanted $100, minimum of $100. But nobody was interested in the pig. Nobody wanted it. I guess its reputation had preceded it, but just didn't precede it to my ears. So, in about 3 months' time, I'll have some pork in my freezer. Now, like I said, it's not a huge pig, but it's. My friend was saying he looks to be probably at least 200 pounds. Okay, so I'll get some meat out of it. $50 worth, yeah, probably will. And they'll process it for me. They don't have to grind mine up and make sausage. Even their sausage is pretty good, you know. But if I'll take some, but I'd like to have some whole meat if it's decent meat. Okay, that's the thing. With being a boar, and I don't know how old it is. If it's too tough to have as like pork steaks or roast or something like that, then I'll just go ahead and just grind it up and put it in sausage. I mean, I'm okay with that. It's good sausage. So, well, anyway, we'll play that by ear. That kind of depends. It's like I just, it makes you wonder with all this that's been going on. I hadn't planned for these additional things, but yeah, it's kind of been laid in my lap. Okay, that yeah, you're going to have these extra things. And now I'm thinking, you know what? That was probably a blessing in disguise. Because, I mean, I don't know. Things are so sketchy these days. My husband and I are just on Social Security. That's what we live on. Thankfully, we own our home. And our taxes are very, very low. There's no way we could do this up in New Jersey. Or anywhere up north, I don't think. But here, where we are, our taxes are extremely low. Extremely low. Less than $50 a year. Okay? Which is manageable on Social Security. So we're not rolling in it, but we're managing. And all this stuff with the livestock, that's gravy. I'm trying to build up the homestead to actually have an income from the farm. Okay? And that's my goal. Now, people say, you know, oh, you shouldn't be using government programs and this, that, and the other. It's like, yeah, ideally, I would like to not have to do that. I would really prefer to do that. But I'll tell you, the money's already in the system. And with things going as bad as they are, you know, I need to do something. And we're talking survival here. I'm going to apply for that grant through the university, and see if they'll let me have it. And getting the this back room built. It doesn't even have to be totally enclosed to begin with. Just having a roof and a floor. Okay, I can enclose it. I accumulated some windows. I'm looking for some doors. My guys are looking for some doors for me, secondhand doors, and see what we can't come up with. And then I can enclose it myself. Okay, that won't be hard. I don't have to get up on the roof. That's the thing I can't do. I can't do the roof. So if I can get that built we were going to do it ourselves, but then the cost of materials went, skyrocketed. And so it's like, okay, I don't know if we can do it. I was looking and trying to figure this out. And it's like, I don't know if we can do it. If we do a little bit, accumulate things. But the prices just keep going up every month. They keep going. You can't plan. And I don't know how, Guildbrook Farms, they're building, and was it Good Simple Living, something like that. I'm very bad at names. and there's been a couple others that are building and deep into building projects. I don't know how they're doing it. Trying to stay on a budget and build, and it's like every time you turn around, price is going up, nothing's coming down, and it's crazy. And people are talking shortages and supplies. I was watching. Which one are they? Hidden Heights is the ones with the goats. Oh man, Green Acres. His channel's Samcraft, and their channel is. I'm really bad with names. It comes up on my subscription page, and I just click on it, and it's Green Acres, I think. Don't quote me on that. I'll try to remember to put it in the description when I get off of here. What it is. Anyway, they've been involved in a renovating their mobile home, and it's just the cost of materials. It's been affecting their build. Shortages of materials. He's come across that. They've been managing to get it done, but it's like, what are you going to do? If you can't get what you need, and so that was a concern too. Was, like I said, we have planned this back room here, and it's just so. If I can get this grant, if they'll allow it, because it's going to be off my house, but it's so I can have my brooders in a better spot and have office space for the farm, because I'm having a hard time keeping my things together because I don't have an office. I don't have a desk. I'm not asking for a lot. I just need the structure built, the roof and the floor, and I can do the walls. So I don't know if they'll allow that, or if I have to have everything all done. I don't know. So, but we'll see. I'll fill out the application and see what happens. The applications have to be in by the 1st of June, which is the end of this month. So I got to get cracking on it. This is what's going on. I hope everybody else is managing to get through with all this stuff that's going on. It's just crazy. But we've known for some time that things are going to start getting crazy. I mean, if you believe in end times or not, I do, and I saw the writing on the wall that things were going to get bad. I could see it. I could feel it. And I was doing my best to get us in a better position than what we were in. We were in a very, very bad position before we moved down here. No place is going to be perfect, but we are definitely in a much better position down here than we were up in New Jersey. So, and I've been doing with little for almost my whole life. So I'm used to it. Just making do and getting by. And it can be done. If I can do it, anybody can do it. You just got to set your priorities. I don't have fancy furniture. As a matter of fact, I'm sitting on my bed, which happens to be a mattress, which happens to be sitting on the floor. At some point, I'll have a bed frame, and I'll probably make it myself. And that's fine. I get the pallets. As a matter of fact, I've got 2 pallets in the back of my truck right now. But I wasn't going to get it out because the one has plywood, and when you get a pallet that has plywood on it, it's not really the best quality plywood. And I knew this weather was coming in, and I did not want to get it wet. So that is in the truck for right now. Okay, so I covered my shocking experience at the auction, and the update on Joy and Moomoo. Is there something else I need to talk about? I should have written things down, but I've been so busy. It's like, oh, I got to go take care of this. This needs to be done. That needs to be done. And I don't write things down, and I should. Maybe if I had an office with a tablet handy, with pens handy, maybe I would start writing things down. I have office supplies. They're just in a box somewheres, So one of these days I'll have everything unboxed and where I know where they are, and everything will have a home, and I'll be organized, a lot more organized than what I am right now. I keep trying. And unfortunately, the more animals I get, the more busy I am. But hopefully that's the end of the animals, except for the ducks are going to be hatching, and any chicks I hatched. I still have some of the new chicks. I don't know for sure at this point if I'm going to sell them or if I'm going to keep them. I didn't get my brooder set up this year because I don't have it set up so I can set up my breeding pairs. My intent is to breed Orpingtons, different breeds of Orpingtons, different strains, and offer them for sale. And we'll just see how that goes down here. A lot of people like the Rhode Island Reds are very popular. And your sex links are very popular because then they know they've got girls. But some people don't want to bother raising chicks. They just want something that's ready to lay. So I don't have a problem raising the chicks to be pullets and roosters and having them for sale. And it's like, okay, here's your pullets. Give them they should be starting laying at such and such a time. So hopefully by next year I'll have things better set up and ready to go for breeding purposes. I hope to be planting things that will grow, that I can feed the chickens and the other animals where I don't have to rely on grain. So that, going back to feed and the availability of feed. Like chickens, I call them pigs with feathers because they'll eat just about anything. Okay. You can cook just about any vegetables. You can freeze vegetables and give them the frozen vegetables, okay? After they thaw out, of course. And winter squashes, they store well. They'll eat those. And there's other things too. You can dry, like, different types of greens. You can dry those and give them those. You probably still need some grains, like sunflower seeds. I just got a bag of black oil sunflower seeds. I'm planning on planting some of those seeds, okay, to see if I can't have a crop that the birds don't eat first. So, you do what you can. There's a lot of things that you can preserve, or you don't have to freeze them, you don't have to can them, but you can maybe dry them some and hang on to them for the animals for feed. This time of year, it's great. They can free range, okay, and they can get most of their food that way. They'll eat grass and the clover and the bugs, and they'll just have a grand old time, okay. And then you don't have to feed them as much grain. So that would be awesome. Now I've got my hens locked up right now because I don't have a way of protecting them from the roosters at this point. You do kind of have to watch the roosters with the hens, because right now my rooster to hen ratio is too low. Okay, and I know that, so I have to lock up my roosters so I can let the hens out, and then I can pick and choose which rooster has access to which hens, and I will primarily have the ones that I'm not breeding sequestered, the roosters sequestered, okay, and they'll be paired with certain hens to breed. Now I do have so far I've gotten 2 hens that are brooding, and I put leg bands on them, and now I know which ones they are. Um, and I like broody hens because if anything should happen with my incubator, they they don't depend on power. Okay, if the electricity goes out, they'll still sit on those eggs. I don't have to worry about humidity, and I don't have to worry about the power going out for the heater. Okay, so that's why I like the broodies. I was kind of hoping to have more than 2 broodies, but I'll take the 2, and hopefully I'll get more as the time goes on. Um, and they will be treated like queens. Okay, these 2 girls will be. Unfortunately, they will not be allowed to free range, but they will have the Taj Mahal of coops, okay, because they will be well taken care of. And they will have a permanent home here. Um, Even if they stop laying, they'll have a permanent home, so long as they can manage to set a full um, 20, 21 days for to hatch out chicks, okay? Um, they'll be fine. They'll be a permanent fixture here. Whether or not they have names, well, that I don't know because you can't tell them apart. And I didn't write on their leg bands because they usually wear off anyway. So, but that's all right. Anyway, looks like we got a break in the rain, and I got things I got to get done. So I still have seedlings I have to plant. Yeah, I bought seedlings. I bought some 2 kinds of tomatoes and some peppers and some marigolds, and was there something else I got? Peppers, 2 kinds of tomatoes, marigolds, and new rosemary, because my other rosemary, it did not survive the cold snap. So I have to make sure that this one I will probably plant in a pot so that I can protect it better. But hopefully it'll survive this year. So anyway, this is Mom H with Honey Hollow Homestead. Have a good one, people, and I hope you found my shocking reveal entertaining. Because I know my Amish friends found it very entertaining. What will I get into next? Have a good one, people, and I'll see you later.